lieve mensen. Kom even jongens, kom even hier naartoe. Ja, het is nu even door het werk van Madelon. Even kijken.
Zo is leven.
Kom erbij, kom erbij. Hey Madelon! Hey jongens! Ja, het is echt, ik ben best wel trots op Sebastian, natuurlijk genomineerd voor de Volkskrant Beeldende Kunst. En Madelon die is nu in Noorwegen en die heeft afgelopen week hier is ze. Ze heeft zo meteen een opening in Noorwegen in het museum. Genomineerd voor 2 prijzen. Ja, echt geweldig. En nou ja, jongens, super fijn dat jullie er allemaal zijn. En natuurlijk allemaal stemmen op Sebastian. En nou, iedereen heel erg welkom. En ik werk heel graag samen met Abdelkader. En zoals jullie weten, Abdelkader zijn energie loopt op woorden en op kunst. Hij is nu conservator, zoals jullie weten, van het nieuwe museum. Misschien kan je er zo iets over vertellen. Wat in aanbouw is in Rotterdam. En ja, heel fijn dat jij dat jij even eigenlijk een soort, Madelon, we gaan een soort interview doen, maar het is een beetje lastig om jou goed te horen, maar jullie kunnen toch even zien dat Madelon er is.
Laat je schoenen.
Ja, we zijn ook super trots op jou, hè? Leuk. Kan je het een beetje meekrijgen? Mooi, hartstikke goed, leuk. Nou, Abdelkader gaat het openen. Hier is hij, ook. Ik zet jullie zo.
Het is geopend.
De beste opening ooit.
I will do this talk in English. I won't take long because I think this is a day of celebration. You're a young artist, you're very, very gifted, you're incredibly tender and human in what you do. I'm truly like blown away by seeing your work. Already 2 years ago when I saw the Tapijten, you know, then Margie, you know, she spotted you and she had your work there and it was just a joy to be in the same gallery as you were, because my photo work is with Margie. And I was asked to open this, and also big shout out to Madelon, who is now in Norway. You're a powerhouse. I remember also you at the Rai art fair, and what I love in you too is you're the new generation of artists who have come to the fore and who are doing everything by themselves. You're so versatile, you're hardworking, you never give up. There's an optimism, there's an absence of sarcasm and cynicism. You have a world to win, and that's contagious. That's really contagious. So, looking at your work and looking at Madelon's work, it makes me want to do something too, you know, want to create, you know, want to kill the bastards with art, of course, you know. We preach non-violence. And Madelon, I remember a small anecdote. I just told it to my friends over there. We were at the Rai, you know, and to be at an art fair as an artist is terrible. It's hell on earth, you know. It's like, you know, the 12th circle of Dante, you know, where you're in, because there's art all around you. People walk by, some watch, some don't watch. But I remember when Margie was there for the whole week, you were there too for the whole week.
Yes,
you were there too for the whole week, and you were standing there. You had this wonderful Bordeaux red loafers you were wearing. You were standing and you were representing your work. You know, with your beautiful red hair, and you were there representing your work. And I felt, and I was so impressed by it. I was so impressed that you were there every day. So for me that turned into kind of performance, you know. I was like, I'm going to call Marina Abramovic, you know, to tell her that there's, you know, there is another performance artist in Amsterdam. But you were not performing, because that's what's good about your there's no irony in your work. It's for real, and that's such a fresh air, because irony almost killed this country. It brought right-wing parties to the power. It brought a lack of sincerity. It brought, you know, it brought in a way, it brought good things, but it also brought a disconnection with society and with the fight for life. And you're part of the new generation that brings the human being into the center. Is non-ironic, and I like that so much. I like that so much. I'm like, oh my God, there is hope. There's hope beyond despair. And Madelon, what I like of you, you are now in Norway, and you're bringing Norway to us because you're being inspired by the murals of some Norwegian artists. I didn't know about them, but thanks to you, I just discovered them. One of them is a woman, the other one is man, 50-50, which is great. and of course, what I like, Madelon, is something I really appreciate. Until recently, textile has been pushed away as female art, as women art, is not being taken serious by the institutions. And by using textile and by claiming it, you're bringing it back to the center where it should be, in the galleries, in our lives, as part of our surrounding. And I think there's a bigger plan there. Come back to Schiedam to talk about it, but I think I'm very, very happy to see that you took the work on paper, which is there in the corner. It's a beautiful panorama. Everything is for sale. Buy it now, because Ron Mandels is here too.
Yeah, he's here too.
And otherwise, you know. But what you did, you turned that beautiful panorama that's in the corner. You turn it into a mural of textile, and it's here to show it, and it's lively. It's full of humor. It's full of sex. Who's watching it is full of love, and I just cannot stop watching. I just cannot stop watching it. It's like it's like eye candy. I just want to see more, and I'm discovering things, and I'm going to take it with me at home. So that's Madelon. And you, Sebastian, I want to ask you 2-3 questions. How do you feel?
Degree of excitement and exhaustion. A little bit of the two. But
What is
very lucky.
Very lucky. Congratulations. What is it you took out from this day? What is the overall sentiment you feel that is going to push your work forward?
Well, most of the feedback that I've gotten is about the joy that people get in actually being able to draw their own conclusions about what is going on in a painting or why it exists and what it needs. And I think that what you said earlier about irony is incredibly relevant, actually, and that the space to make, to interpret and not feel like you are being boxed into a certain avenue of interpretation is really, really valuable. That people shouldn't be afraid to engage with artworks. That it's not dead; it's a living thing that you as a viewer are participating in and breathing life into. I mean, I have my ideas about why I made these things, but I don't want to push them onto everyone else. That's for them to discover. And I think that the best way to go about that is by being earnest and true to what you really feel and really think, and that we don't know how much history we have in front of us at this point, right? So there's no point in pretending to feel something other than you do. It's a good time to be honest.
Something about you use a very it's like pre-modern technique, wet on wet. You love that. It's the Impressionists. They inspire you. But the subject matter is very modern. It's in the here and now. Why did you choose this approach?
I mean, because that's when I was born, right? It's one thing to sort of fantasize about having lived in another time, but I don't think that would have gone that well for me. It's like we are here because
it's a time machine. It's a time machine thing you're doing.
I mean, certainly, like taking painting as a medium to deal with the modern era is kind of refuting some of the things that are forced on you by the time you're born into, right? Like we all interpret and see everything through the camera lens to a degree, whether it be advertisements or movies or whatever, and that's the water that we swim in and that we're kind of breathing. But you have a choice as an artist to insist on another way of looking at things, and like one of the reasons that I wanted to show with Madelon is because she also clearly insists on that, right? It is like a perspectiveless kind of what's the best word to describe it? But it's certainly not a photographic way of looking at things. And that's not denigrating photography in any way. That is its own art form. But what I mean is that, like, as an artist, you have the option to pursue these things. And I think that, there's good reason to try other ways of looking. they stand out against the predominant tendencies in the culture.
And what I like is that both of you go for the mix. You know, you're daring and you're mixing. You just mix. You're bringing life at the center. It's chaotic. It's fleshy. It's talkative. It's how do you call it? It's sometimes in your face. But there's an incredible beauty in it, the power, the energy. Yeah. Well, Madelon, is that something you want to say in Norwegian? Is that something that you can say in Norwegian for us? How important for you is textile? How important is it for you to have it here in textile?
Actually, it recently became more and more important to me, especially during writing my final paper, my master paper at the Academy of the Arts here in Oslo. There's a female artist, Galerie, who's really important to me, as she combines her personal experiences that are about her private life together with these very political statements. And she does it in a way that I admire so much. She's such a big influence to me that I want to kind of go towards her practice a bit more. And with getting the possibility to make these tapestries at the Textile Lab in Tilburg, in my hometown, really felt like I could.
You made them in Tilburg, okay.
Ja, textielmuseum.
Yeah. So it's in a way the declaration. It's a declaration of love for this female artist, but it's also like a sisterhood. You met someone who is in a way doing what you're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, and she did it a while ago, and she's now really appreciated that back in her day she didn't get the attention she should have gotten. I think.
Yeah.
And so it's really important to me, and it's a bit too bad that I can't be in Schiedam today.
You're missing so much. Yeah. But you can be here around 9 if you take the.
I have the finissage of another exhibition today
In the museum.
Okay. Okay. She's big in Norway, Madelon. That's yeah. Cool. Well, Madelon, what we're going to do is we're going to do another follow-up here in the gallery with your work and talk and go a little bit deeper in subject matter and the history that you're representing in your just wonderful work. So I'm going to wrap this up. Enjoy your. I was just talking with someone here, and this is a Protestant country, so it was like, oh, it's maybe he now feels like a pop star, and maybe he will is now in the clouds, and now he thinks Willem de Koning, and then he will go to America, and we'll never see him again. But I said to him, this is your day. You will get this recognition. The world is seeing you for what you make as an artist. This is a day to celebrate and to enjoy it to the max. So this day is is a gift to you. Enjoy, and I know that wonderful things will come out of it. Thank you very much. Thank you. We have some collectors from the first hour. Where is she? Come here. I want to see one of the collectors. I'm so jealous. You're also a collector on the first hour?
First collector, yeah.
Really? Oh,
Yeah, he's a friend of his work since the start. This is like my oldest friend in the world.
How cool. Super.
And he was going to be he's a
and
great guy. Even when I was a young brat, he still looked out for me.
Really?
When he just
Wow.
posed for me when I...
What's your name?
Nathan.
Nathan.
And we used to hang out in the Delfshaven lot, where you had like a
first
studio next to a big garage.
Yeah.
And we hang out with the people
I was
in the
squatting in
garage.
that studio, right? I couldn't afford an apartment and a studio, so I was... I should be telling this.
And I was making sure the heating was still on and the seal was fed.
Yeah.
And we used to hang out with a lot of people in the neighborhood, so it was a lot of interesting stuff.
Yeah.
When we were young, when we were babies.
Look at you now.
Wow, wonderful. Well, we're celebrating friendship. I mean, it's so important.
Yeah.
This is so important. Someone who's there for you, you can talk to, you can be to, have a drink, have a beer, eat bed shawarma in Delfshaven. Maar het is very important. Yeah.
Abdelkader, ik heb nog een uitdaging voor alle mensen die hier zijn en die misschien wel iets zouden willen kopen. Hè? En, Nou ja, kijk, ik ben nu 5 jaar met de galerie bezig. Ik heb zelf jaren bij Galerie Torch gezeten. Kent, wacht even. Ja, Torch. Nee, ja, daar heb ik zelf als jonge maker gezeten. En prijzen was altijd, ja, weet je, ik merk het ook in de galerie, of het is te goedkoop, of mensen vinden het te duur. Dan wil ik jullie de uitdaging geven, want er zijn natuurlijk niet allemaal mensen die gaan bedenken waarom wie een prijs krijgt. Waarom zou al die genomineerden, weet je wel, er wordt over gesproken, wie is het beste, wie krijgt straks die 10.000 euro. Maar ik wil van jullie ook weten, wat vinden jullie een goed werk en wat zou het werk moeten kosten? Nou, ik heb een kaartje, dat is een werkje van Jan Torop, die was in de Eerste Wereldoorlog, tekende hij in Oostvoorne en hij gaf deze tekeningetjes weg aan mensen om contact met ze te maken. Dus hij gaf ze gewoon weg. Nu heeft het waarde gekregen, maar ik geef jullie allemaal een kaartje. Er staat een roze grote kan op mijn bureau. Schrijf daar je favoriete werk op en wat jij vindt. Wat denk je, hoe lang is een kunstenaar mee bezig? Wat is de leeftijd van de kunstenaar? Wat zou het mogen kosten? Dus ik ga het omdraaien. Ik wil jullie weten van jullie. Je mag het anoniem doen, maar je mag ook nog, als je op een mailinglist of je volgt me nog niet, kan je me volgen. Maar daag jullie ook uit. En natuurlijk, ik ben natuurlijk wel voor het stemmen. Allemaal stemmen op Sebastian.
Ja, zeker.
Ja, ging het doen.
Madelon, dankjewel hè. Kom op daar.